All right. Hey guys, it's Chris Elston here with another awesome guest. Tonight we are joined by the very talented and very creative horror director, Eric Mathis.
How you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on board, man. So I've been following you for a while on Instagram, and you've been doing a lot of cool stuff. And you definitely do the kind of horror I like. You deal with practical effects. You do with like metal and horror, which is always a great genre that I don't think we have nearly enough of. I was on board with that. And you got a really cool project you're working on right now. But before we dive into that, I'd just like you to kind of introduce yourselves to the audience as far as like what got you into film and the journey up to creating your first feature.
Yeah, absolutely. I was one of those. I think, like a lot of us, I was one of those video store kids, man. I spent a lot of my youth, probably way too young, going to the video stores and
Right.
shopping horror aisles and seeing all these amazing cover arts on these VHSs and just taking them home and binging them and just really being blown away that people could do that. And I started really getting interested in like how do they do a certain shot or how do they do this effect, and I just loved it almost from day one. So long story short, I was in the military for a while and I ended up in
Cool.
Vegas. So when I got out, I was like, enough time has passed in life that like I'm going to start pursuing my dream. I'm going to see if I can actually get into movies because, as you probably know, everybody your whole life tells you, "Oh, it's impossible. You can't do it
Yeah.
unless you're in Hollywood and know someone."
Yeah. Exactly.
So as soon as I got out, man, I started looking around, trying to find people who were making movies, and um, linked up with some indie filmmakers out here, and loved it. Had a blast with it. Kind of made a small name for myself here in Vegas, and that ultimately led to a really big music video shoot with the Jackson family. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was very cool. They're putting their nephew out, and we did this big video shoot out at the lake in their clubhouse, and it was awesome.
Cool.
And that's what kind of gave me legs. It kind of gave me that next step. And I linked up with Full Moon Features, who made like Puppet Masters and
Right.
Demonic.
Oh heck yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Charles Brand, right? Isn't that
Yep,
name?
Charles Band. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did a couple movies with him, and just was
Shit.
blown away because I watched a lot of his stuff, growing up.
Right
Uh,
on.
I did uh, Evil Bong 7 and Ouija's, which were just a
That's
lot of
awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
fun.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun and got like really gave me my first taste of like hardcore but real indie filmmaking, and that's where I pretty much learned how to do it quickly and with no money because it's comparatively we don't get a lot of money for these projects, but you can do so much with them. And I really watched that with Charles and how those guys did it. And I applied that to what I do now. I was even working with his director of photography, Howard Wexler, who's been around for decades. I mean, he's done hundreds of films, and just talking to him
Wow.
on set, he was really into my ideas and what I wanted to do, and he kind of came on board, and we just ran with it, and yeah, people just were loving the ideas, and it built from there.
Dude, that's fantastic. Before we go further, I just want to address how like you that's living a dream almost. Cause like a lot of horror, especially horror filmmakers, we always want to just get on these sets and work on stuff. You did it, and I tell people all the time the best, for people who want it. I mean, film school's great and everything. I would never knock that. But working on sets, bro, no matter if it's a low budget, big budget, you'll never get the experience you need more than doing that. And
Definitely.
because again, you'll learn the lingo, the certain language you talk on set. You understand people's positions. So if you do want to step into directorship, you'll know why the DP needs this, why he needs like a camera system to pull focus and all this. You understand all these things, and
Definitely.
in fact that you actually got into like Full Moon, that's pretty good, dude. I mean, because that's like they're a small studio, but it's a studio. I mean, Charles Band been making movies for decades.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got all. I mean, you got a lot of access to things. And a lot of knowledge early on. You just went out and did it. You didn't let, like you said, you didn't let the thing hold you back about, oh, you can never, Hollywood's this like magical unicorn, you can't chase it. No, man. Like, now that we're older, we know how it works now. Like, it's not, this stuff is a lot more accessible than what we thought it was when we were kids.
Absolutely. And a lot of people, that's one of the things that
Maybe him.
that's one thing, like when people ask me like how'd you do it, and that's the main thing I tell them, like it's not inaccessible. Like the way you do it is you just take one step, just do one thing towards it, and just watch one step turn into a next. So that's
Right.
yeah, it was really cool. It was, getting to see him in person and getting to see all the little puppets and
Oh man, I'm jealous
holding
now.
your dead man and all that. It was cool, man. It definitely gave me the bug and made me want to do more.
That is awesome. So you went from all right. So the story. So you went. You out of the military. You kind of went back. You get stationed in Las Vegas. You started, networking. Worked on some indie stuff. Worked your way up till you got into like Full Moon. Worked on a lot of their projects. So from there, were you at the point was okay? Now I'm ready to start working on my stuff.
Yeah, so I worked my way up through all those sets. Like I started as a production assistant, ended up moving to camera assistant, and just I tried to get as much experience as I could
That's
in
smart.
every job. That way, like you said, I wanted to understand the language. I wanted to understand how they did it, why they did it, and that's kind of the avenue I chose because when I became the director, I could communicate with those departments and know what they needed.
Precisely.
It just really, really helped. So when I felt like I had that experience, I'm the kind that I just wanted to jump in. I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. So I hooked up with a writer for my first one. I told him everything that I wanted. We worked together and put the script together. And we had this amazing crowdfunding campaign. I think we did almost like $70,000. I
That is
think we did $30,000
incredible.
a day. Yeah. So people really dug
Wow.
it. I bought a pre-made monster from a really, really awesome effects shop. The name leaves me now, but I was like, I'm going to show people the idea of the kind of stuff I want to put in my movies, but we obviously don't have the thousands now to put it in. So I
Right.
spent a few thousand and bought one that was really close, and people just really, really reacted to the monster. So putting that up front and in our funding trailer was a huge factor to getting people on board. And then COVID hit. So we had
Oh
all of this.
yeah.
COVID hit, everything shut down. So the first movie turned out really cool, but there was a lot of sacrifice and things we didn't get to do. We lost money because of the shutdowns, but it turned out really cool. But I knew that we missed a lot of the things that I wanted to do in it. So with
Right.
Infernal, I took out all the stops and just really went absolutely all in with it and made Infernal everything we couldn't do on my first one, the Macabre, and it just really turned out.
That's great, man. I mean, it's awesome that you made all that money the first one, but it sucks. Like, yeah, COVID. A lot of filmmakers took a hit during COVID.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that first one, like the name of it? Like, is it out? People can like pick it up, or
Yeah, it's called the Macabre. I think it's on Amazon Prime. We
okay,
did international distribution. The deal wasn't great, it turned out, but we didn't know much about the ins and outs of distribution, but it is
right,
out there. We won best cult film at Shockfest Film Festival, so we won a best of fest the first time out, which was cool. We beat some films that had like 5 and 6 times our budget, so that was really
awesome,
awesome. So, yeah, it's called the Macabre. It's a anthology of sorts. I wanted to kind of make mini features of every type of horror, just to kind of show that I could do it all. I
hmm
wanted to do slasher, supernatural, and not that doesn't mean anything cocky at all. I just wanted to kind of make a calling card so
Oh
that
yeah, definitely, yeah.
yeah. So I love the ghost stories, I love the slashers, and I wanted to do it all in one film to kind of flex those. But I'm mostly drawn to the supernatural, the monsters, and
Right
the
on, right on.
so
Um, After we finish up, if you send me the link to that, I'll update my YouTube channel so they can also click the link for that as well up under
oh,
your campaign. So people can check it out.
thank you so much.
No problem, man. We're here to each other. Uh, let me see. So we got that. So all right. So let's talk about Inferno a little bit. I won't pull up the campaign just yet. I'll kind of let you tell people like the inspiration for it. No, the whole process. Then we'll show them.
Yeah, for sure. So Infernal, it's it's the wildest thing I've ever done by far. I wrote it completely by myself. I just pretty much shut off everything that everybody else was doing. I wasn't watching because I love keeping up with indie projects and seeing what other people are doing and
Right. Same
supporting.
here. Heck yeah.
Yeah, but I locked out because I didn't want any outside influence on this. I wanted to be completely original and just different and just kind of balls to the wall. So the main story is about these four friends who accidentally summon the devil with his heavy metal record. And he obviously shows up, and they didn't expect it to work at all, and so they ask him for favors each, which he in turn, he turns it on them, and it just gets crazy. So he gives them 24 hours to solve this riddle, to find this metal blade before he takes their soul. So that's kind of the
okay. I like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Faustian. It's almost like a horror super bad mixed with Goonies, mixed with just insanity. So it's
a combination.
It's a lot of fun. I put a lot of my influences all into one film, so it's got a little bit of everything for everybody, but it's definitely got insane horror and effects. Joe Castro, who is just one of the top effects guys I've ever met, much less work with, he just came in and just murdered it. I wrote stuff that I had no idea how anybody would ever pull it off, and he just came in and just really.
Joe, I love his work. Because he doesn't really direct anymore, does he? He just does mostly effects now.
Mostly effects, and we had a partnership on this film. I wanted everything perfect, and Joe's got a mind that you make special effects, so you know that.
Oh yeah,
that's a whole nother world. Like you have to understand it and be in it. So what I did was I partnered with Joe. I was like, you understand this way better than I do, and your mechanics, and I want this to work well. So I brought Joe in, and I let him direct a lot of the effects shots, which paid off in spades, because he came in with these plans that if you looked far back from, you're like, what? How is this going to work? And at the end of it, you're like, that's one of the most genius things I've ever seen in my life. So
that's awesome.
Joe.
But that's good on your part. That's being a good director, because I've actually had some conversations with other filmmakers who do effects. I always said, if you're going to do effects, always have somebody on set who knows effects, because if you try to direct an effect and don't understand how it works, that's when problems come in, because it's a logistics thing. A lot of people don't understand logistics, but save you a lot of time if you bring in somebody who knows it. Because there's corners that can be cut. You may overthink something. It could be very simply done. So yeah, it's cool that you guys were to collaborate together to make it work out.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing that I put up front. Like, I guess if I could give anybody any kind of word of advice out there is collaborate with your people. The people that you bring in to head these departments, you brought them in there for a reason, and you should always surround yourself with people that know more than you. That's right. And never let ego really get in the way, because those gives on set where you collaborate with your people, man, that's where your magic comes from, and it really came through on this.
I agree, man. I always say, if for me being director, I'm the dumbest guy in the room. I always try to go in like that.
Yeah, absolutely, most definitely.
But that's great, man. So I'm about to put. So this is the campaign about to pull up. This is actually the second one, right? You've done one before. It was like the initial funds, and this is kind of like the remaining funds you need, right?
Yeah. So the first one we made a little throwaway trailer just to show proof of concept. I mean, I think we shot it for just a few $1,000s. The one that you're about to show, we've actually filmed the movie now. So everything you're seeing in this is what's in the actual movie. And it just became this massive thing. We had massive stars, set locations that I still can't believe we got. So this thing just really came together, and it's going to be something really special and huge. So that's what we're showing on the second campaign.
Yeah, I've watched it 3 times myself already. Kind of like it so much.
Thank you so much.
But no problem, man. So I'm about to pull it up now. Let's screen, and here we go.
Dark Lord, fallen angel, hear our call. We are but humble servants who beg for your favor.
Where are you going?
Find some more Sacrifice albums to add to my collection.
Why don't you get some real music like Journey or Skinner?
There are only 666 copies of this made. This record was used to summon demons.
What the fuck is that? Let's make a deal. Gamble for her soul.
You must answer this challenge within 13 hours.
All you need to do is retrieve the blade.
That's where
That's
heavy metal
hilarious.
comes from?
Hell yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Thank you so much.
No
And
problem.
that effect that you said there when we pull the guy's head out of his butt, it's one of my favorites. So in the script, I had this sergeant when I was in the Air Force, and he was just horrible. And he was just like, I could not have disliked him more. And he always like tell people to pull their heads out of their ass, if I could say that.
Oh yeah, you cuss on here.
So I named that character after him. He's actually an Air Force sergeant in the movie. And then we went ahead and pulled his head out of his butt. When you see the whole kill, it'll make sense. But that was my little.
That's hilarious. So I'm a sucker for details, and the fact he had little pieces of corn on his head, that was a nice little touch right there. That's all the blood, but the corn thing stuck out too much. Oh, you got corn on there. All right.
And it was crazy because like we were getting ready to do that shot that night, and then we had our meal served to us on set. And Joe actually saw that, and he's like, "Oh, there's potatoes and corn. That's going to be perfect for tonight." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's great!"
Yeah, that's hilarious. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna pull it up. Kind of walk through the campaign if that's cool with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell people what they're getting. So all right, bear with me. Okay. All right, can you see it pretty good?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay, we'll go through the whole thing. All right. So the first perk that you can do is you are in the film, and you get a special makeup session with Joe Castro, and that's a pretty badass one right there. And you get you get all this. You get a digital download of the film, signed copy of the film, credit in the film, IMDb credit, and you get to be a victim or a demon. Makeup session with Joe Castro. So, and that is all, and so you actually get 40% off. So now you get a $1,500. That's not a bad price at all. That's actually a steal.
Yeah, and you get to go to be in Joe's studio. This is a personalized thing, a one-on-one with Joe Castro. I haven't seen many people do this post-production. Like the film's already been made, but Joe just had this brilliant idea that we can put people in the movie, even though it's already been filmed. And he came up with this awesome. It's going to like show hell pretty much. And there's going to be victims and demons in there. So you'll actually get to go and hang out with Joe and have one-on-one session that's just you and him. And he's going to do an awesome makeup on you. And we're going to put you in a really cool scene in the movie. So that's why that's our premier perk. Because I don't think many, if anybody, are doing that out there. So.
Now, I think you're the first ones to do this, and that's great, And like for any aspiring filmmaker, especially somebody who wants to get into makeup and stuff, this is the one right here because you're getting hands-on experience by one of the masters. Let's see. Thank you. Oh, before I go in, I want to look at this poster. This poster's pretty cool, right? This guy right here, I really like this.
So the Minotaur, my favorite band is Slayer.
Right.
Old school, obviously. So their first record, Show No Mercy, has this really cool Minotaur on the front. And, he's got the sword, and he's got these big spiked or collars on. So I had this crazy idea. I was like, this is my heavy metal monster movie. I want to build the Slayer Minotaur and make that one of our big monsters. So Joe Castro built that based on my wanting the Slayer Minotaur. And we brought that thing to life and just... Oh, he kills a whole
badass.
people. Thank you so much. He breathed fire, and it was really cool to see that come to life.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. He did an awesome job with that. Oh, since you like that mascot, the Super 8 made an action figure of him, right?
Oh, you can't see it here, but I've got a room full of all their stuff. So
okay. Oh, you are. Yeah, you're definitely hardcore for him. Yeah. But that's I love that design and the fact you're actually put in your movie. I thought that was pretty cool because that was the first thing that came to my mind was a Slayer thing. The other one was, you ever seen the movie The Church?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Remember the scene in that, that thing? Like I thought about that creature too.
And it made me want more. When I saw that movie, I was like, oh, I wish they would show that more. But yes, The Church had a really cool Minotaur in it. And
that's a really good movie too. It's actually on Shudder right now. That's a really underrated film.
Yeah, and it's like it's this bizarre, weird thing that just pulls you in. I was a very big fan. I thought it was a really awesome Italian horror.
Well, Nerd talk about before we move on. You know that was originally supposed to be like the sequel to Demons. supposed to be Demons 3, I believe, but they
Oh,
changed
wow.
the title. Yeah, because I think the plan was that was supposed to explain how they came to existence. Was like they were going to go back. I wish they had to tie it together. That was pretty cool, but you know.
That makes a lot of sense. I can see that. I can see the tie-in there. Yeah, it's very cool.
But heck yeah. So let's keep on going. All right. So you get a thank you. Again, $15. That's not, that's pretty. You already got 3 of them. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we try to make something at every price point, but at this particular time with post-production, the film's already done. We kind of had to evaluate, different worths and things. So this one's a little pricier than we normally do, but there's the perks besides that one. We just wanted to make sure everybody, because we don't all have hundreds of dollars or thousands
Right.
to put in. So I wanted to at least give something where everybody could contribute. So we're so grateful for every single dollar that, we wanted to make sure that everybody could participate.
Absolutely. And with horror fans, they're some of the most forgiving fans. Like they just want to see cool shit, and anything. You've already won them over practical effects. Like I've realized now, any movie that has practical effects will usually do well with horror fans. So
Absolutely, yes.
all right. So digital download, not bad. $25. You get estimated shipping. So you guys are kind of estimating around October. Everything should be good to go.
Yeah, and that's we have to be done by September because we're trying for Sundance.
Cool.
So I'm going to try to get things out. I've also got to kind of abide by their rules. So the moment they let me release it, you don't even have to wait for the mail out. The digital download will come right to your email. So yeah, and I want a digital download. I want it to be way cheaper, but it's not so much shopping as this is fundraising. So that's why, like, if I could make it a digital download, I would probably sell post after this for $10 or $15. But we gotta, we're trying to make the money for post production. So,
and these prices are good, man. I wouldn't even worry about that. Again, like the community, they're supportive of cool indie projects, and these, I've seen people pay way more than this for less things. So, the prices are perfect. Digital download and the soundtrack, $40.
Yeah, so the soundtrack, we're going to have a lot of really awesome over-the-top original metal music. We've got Josh Williams, who came on as an executive producer in our first AC. I mean, he's an incredible metal musician. Like, he hangs out with Slayer and stuff, and he's just so talented. And I'll tell this, for the first time on your show, we've got a major, one of the biggest composers ever in horror film. We don't have him nailed down. He's waiting to see the film. But I've gotten to know him really well. He loves the project. The biggest name in horror scoring may come on board and score this. So that's a good one to grab. I just wish I could tell you right now, but since he hasn't fully committed, I can't say, but
that's awesome. You kind of give us a hint. There's a couple in my mind. There's one I'm thinking my mind immediately goes to, but
see if I can grab this right here. I'll give you a quick flash of who it probably is.
Yep, already know. Yep, say no more.
Yeah, so we've become friends, and we're right there. So
that's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's marketing right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you bring him on, like, hell yeah. Either way, you already got like an awesome project. That'll just enhance what you already have. Let's see. So got one already claimed to that one. All right. So this is one I would like, the signed Blu-ray special edition.
Yeah, so we usually do. We put some extras and stuff on there from the campaign, and we try to really load it with effects, and then I'll take it to the different celebrities and stuff, and trying to get as many people to sign it. And it's the only print that will ever be that version, so it's a cool keepsake, and we can do a lot more with this particular version. So that's always one of the most fun ones to sell out.
Nice. And it's good. I'm glad, you said like it's limited, because for indie filmmakers like us, that's one of the biggest like incentives we have going forward is the limited editions, right? Especially with like the decline in physical media. A lot of the more hardcore fans still want the disc. They want like the steel boxes. They like the little art, the rarity of it. So that's always something we can offer them to kind of help bring in more backers and, people to fund the projects.
Definitely.
All right, so signed Blu-ray digital download combo. So if you want to get the actual physical copy and the digital, $100.
Yeah, so you'll get it. But like I said, you don't have to wait for the mail or wait for the physical release. You can get it and have it while you wait for the signing and all that to come. So you'll get to see the movie the earliest, and you'll still get your special edition signed physical copy.
Nice, nice. And that ships worldwide, so anybody around the globe can grab it.
Definitely.
All right. So, all right, the Epic Infernal bundle. So, what exactly is all in this?
So we usually, if you click on there, it's like we usually try to do the
Okay.
a digital download, a signed copy. I think we do a poster. You may even get a,
Nice.
oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, special thanks
Yeah.
credit. So we just try to make it like probably best bang for your buck, because getting a credit is usually super expensive, and then getting the copy of the film, it's kind of like the most for your money kind of thing. So we just made like a package deal.
Yeah, and dude, like again, for that price, it's very good. Especially, I'm looking at the signed posters, and I've done a lot of printing and stuff in the past. I know those are expensive. Posters can get. I mean, I think more so than the actual Blu-ray, right? I think getting.
That's mostly what you're paying for. That's the price explanation there. A lot of it is the poster, because we want you to have a nice glossy poster, and then we have to roll it and ship it. So
Right.
for $200, we're probably taking the least of that and giving the most for that particular perk.
That's true. Yeah. And again, like posters, it's one of those rare things that people like finding stuff like this all the time. And you're gonna sign it. So I definitely think if I was a big spender, this is the package I would get, because you're getting the physical film and you're getting the poster. And that's always the stuff that like the true horror fans want to hold on to.
Definitely. And it's the only time we're going to run that particular poster. So that'll be an exclusive to this project, to this campaign as well.
Right.
Every poster we do, we'll only do for this run.
Yeah, so when this blows up and you do the sequel, everybody's be trying to get this poster and everything.
Absolutely.
You see it on eBay for like $3 million or something. You know how that works. Like, it's crazy.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so special edition Blu-ray and a ticket to the premiere.
Yeah, so we have a premiere, and when I did the Macabre, we sold out super quick, and we had a decent sized theater, but we're definitely gonna go bigger. We didn't expect near the crazy turnout we got, so that just secures your spot. It helps us out a lot, and it gets your movie, and it gets you in the theater to come watch it live at the premiere. So I wanted to at least make that a way that the people who may otherwise have missed out last time, or that guarantees your spot.
Right, and again, like very, I mean, you really cut this down. Like 60% off now. It's $200. That's insanely cheap. I don't know how you even afford doing that, but
I try not to go too hard, because this is a second run. We funded the film, so now you're going back to all these awesome people that already supported you and asking for more. So I try to bring it down as low as I possibly can. So a lot of these they're priced right at, just so I can make some money to go into the film. But that's important to me, to be able to not just be constantly just trying to take.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean. So, that I respect that a lot. Your music or art in the film, that's a good. Then this is a really cool one too. Like people, if they want some promotion, and again, like this film is getting seen, especially you have a chance of getting put in the Sundance and everything. So this is something a lot of people should jump on right here.
And that's the reason I made that one so cheap. I think it's very important to open windows for others, and I think that like. Really listen to what he just said, because if you're trying to get your music out, what you're paying for here is the platform that we've already built. So if you're an aspiring musician, painter, especially musicians in this one, like I would pay close attention to this, because we're going to put you in a project with the credits, and we're going to give you our platform to put a piece of your music out there. So that's a cool one, especially for this movie, since it's got a heavy metal music bass undertone. That's a lot of exposure there. So
right, and I, just to add to that, to help to support what you're saying to a lot of you artists out there. So you look at the $300, right? A lot of artists, whether it's like musicians, art. If you're trying to get, if you like go to a convention or whatever, you're spending money on tables trying to get people to look at your stuff, spending money on like disc or whatever it is you do, you're gonna spend way more than $300.
Yes,
this is a guarantee.
Absolutely.
promotion. So
and product placement and song placement and stuff that you would pay with an A&R company, it's thousands and thousands and thousands. But that was an important one for me to make that attainable. And $300, you're going to get your stuff heard or seen. So
exactly, and guys, like, he has a name, he has a following, he has a setup for you guys. So this is something you definitely need to jump on. All
Absolutely.
right. Let's see. Next one, associate producer. Here's one. So, you are the associate producer. You get the hard and digital copies of the film plus credits on IMDb in the film.
Yeah. So our producer perks are usually the biggest. That really lets people put their name on the film. It shows that you helped produce this. I think it's the associate and executive producers are the most popular because you not only get the film, but you're getting to put your name on it, that you were one of us that helped make this, and it lives on forever, and people build their IMDb credits. So if you're looking to build your IMDb up and be associated with different cool projects, the associate and executive producers are definitely the way to go.
Right, and you're almost sold out, dude. You only got one left.
Yeah, we sell a lot. Like, we do deals and stuff, and people reach out. So a lot of these, when you're seeing these numbers that 2 out of 3 sold or 0 out of 3 sold, we also do stuff personally when people reach out. So a lot more of these are sold than the page actually shows, especially with the associate and executive producers.
Awesome. And again, like, insane deal on this. 50% off. $800. You're only paying $400. Like I said before, if you really look at legit the money you spend on other things, this is a steal.
Yeah, and a lot of other campaigns, they go a lot. They charge a lot more for those because you're actually associating yourself forever with the film. So when if you go to put your resume out there, put your IMDb out there, they're going to look at your credits. So that's a big one if you're trying to build your IMDb or your portfolio.
Exactly. So let's see. Now here's a fun one, and this is one of the actors in the film.
Yeah.
Right?
So Mark Torgel, he played the original Melvin the Mop Boy from the original Toxic Avenger.
That's it right there, isn't it?
That's him right there. Yep. And he's a very good friend. He's such a cool dude. And
nice.
He's not. He just retired, so he's going to be doing a few more conventions and things now. But access to him used to be super hard. I brought him out of retirement from movies.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so these are hard to come by, and it's bumped up to help raise money, but it's a cool keepsake for the trauma fans and especially the Toxic Avenger fans because they're really hard to get because access to Mark is hard to get, and he's such a cool guy. Those up.
And we're about to go with this resurgence with Toxic Avenger because the new movie's coming out, and Shudder they're showing all the original ones. So this is something I can see people really wanting to jump on.
Yes, definitely. I've had people all the time, like usually when they come do movies with me, they know me and Mark are really tight. So they'll be like, "Oh, can you please get Mark to sign this for me?" Or so it's really cool to see how much people love him, and Mark's so awesome. I can just pick up the phone and ask him to do a favor for somebody who is really good to us, and he does it without hesitation. So Mark's awesome.
Dude, that's so cool, man. I mean, I love hearing filmmakers, do stuff like this. That means if you get to work with people that we grew up watching and stuff, you make cool stuff. This is really great, man.
Definitely.
Let's see, executive producer. All right, it's the big one.
Yeah, so I mean, you're with an executive producer. You're pretty much the top on the totem pole, especially when people look to see what films you're associated with. That one carries the most water. If you're kind of in the indie film world or the film world at all, you kind of understand that's why you would go for the executive producer. It really shows that you were really involved and had a big hand in the film, and it goes a long way. Having executive producer credits, especially on successful projects.
Yeah, absolutely. And it get, like you said, let's say like this is the filmmaker and they're trying to build a name for themselves. They can use this when they get ready to do their movie. They can say, I was part of this film. So that may help them get more backing as well.
Absolutely. And you'll be on the front of the film. The executive producers go in the front of the film, and they get there's just more prestige built in if you're needing that or looking for that. executive producers, definitely the way to go. And I really underpriced it because after seeing what we filmed and what this is going to be, everybody told me to go way higher, but I still have part of me that wants people to be involved. So I brought it down one last time. I wanted to make that as affordable as possible.
Right. So you heard what he said, folks. Whoever's listening or will listen to this, within the length of the campaign, this will probably the only time you ever get this perk this cheap again. So jump on it while you can.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Let's see. You are in a film. This is a cool one.
So not everybody can go to Hollywood, right, and take time off and go on vacation. So Joe and I, in our discussion of cool perks we can offer, this is a way that we can still put you in with Joe digitally, and he can do your makeup and stuff with VFX. So you can pretty much film at home with your camera, with your phone. And Joe can doctor it up and make it look really nice, and we can still put you in that really cool hell demon victim scene. So you get to do this from home. You don't have to travel to Hollywood and all that. And it's a last chance to be in a really cool scene that we've created just for this campaign, and to give people one last chance to get in on this, because you're going to want to. Because this is
that is really clever. I don't think I've ever heard anybody do that before. I
don't think anybody's ever done these kind of things, these in the film post-production things. So I think we're
may need to patent that idea.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, and we've sold multiples of each, but I did them with package deals and things. They are selling. That's where probably most of our money that you see raised here were from those two perks.
Yeah, but no, dude, that's quite brilliant. Actually, I might have to use that someday if you don't mind.
Absolutely, yes.
And again, like $800. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, 40% originally. I mean, really $1,500. That's still kind of low, But $800. You get in the film. You get a signed copy. You get a credit on IMDb. And like I said, this film's already pretty much made. It's getting distribution. It's getting coverage. So this is an opportunity to put yourself out there.
And there's a lot of VFX that's going to go into that. So the cost that Joe's been cool enough to kind of ingest for us to keep that price point is incredible, because VFX, as you know, per second is super expensive.
Yes,
you're getting a lot of value there for just $800. The amount of work Joe's going to do to make it look awesome afterward, that's a steal there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, man, like, because a person, if they only got like a cell phone, they don't have the proper lighting, and they just record themselves, that's a lot of work on his end in post.
Yes, definitely.
So, yeah, hats off to him. I mean, you guys are just awesome for doing that.
And we offer payment plans, too, in case anybody's watching that wants some of these higher things. Like, I couldn't go jump out right now and buy a $1,500 perk. I mean, most of us can't. Like, it's... and a lot of these they're higher price, but we do offer payment plans. If you just reach out to me, I can break those up. I can send you private links and things like that. And it's nobody's business but mine and yours. So if you want one of these cooler, bigger perks and you would like to break the payments up, that's something cool that I'd like to offer. I don't know how many other people do it, but if that's something that helps you out, I'll do that.
Awesome. And again, like when we finish this up, if you send me the link for the macabre, if you send me the link, like how the people can get in touch as well, I'll put all that in the description on YouTube for you. Let's see. So we got that one. Sorry, the VIP at the world premiere. That's pretty much self-explanatory.
Yeah, so you'll be with the stars. You'll get photo ops on the red carpet. You'll get to sit in the row where all the stars will be seated. Meet and greet, sign memorabilia, just kind of puts you front and center with all because we have so many stars in this. You'll be sitting right there with all of our big names and really kind of get the extra special VIP treatment at the red carpet premiere.
Awesome. You already sold one, so one left.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, see. All right, then we got special film made possible by credit.
So that's something that I started doing in the beginning of the film. It's obviously a bigger ticket. It's a bigger credit, and it'll play right up front with all of our credits. So if you've ever seen like when in the opening credits of a movie, in that sequence, it'll list you as someone who made the film possible. So it's a cool, unique credit that you can only get during these phases of production.
Right. You know, folks who's maybe considering getting this perk, remember, like, when a film ends, a lot of people may walk out and not look at the end credits. This is a guarantee. They're going to see it because they got to see the rest of the movies.
Yes, definitely.
So definitely something to look at. Like I said, man, you got some really, really good. I see why, you know, you do so well in your campaigns. You give a lot of people bang for the buck on these.
Thank you.
All right, so Infernal Baller. This is, is this the biggest? Oh, no, actually got one bigger than this, I believe.
Yeah, there's one more bigger than that.
All right, so for $5K, let's see. You want to go through and tell everybody what they're getting?
Yeah, so you pretty much get every single perk. You get the VIP pickup at the premiere. You can come and ride in the limo with us. You get your name on all the media, so all the box, the Blu-ray boxes, the posters, anything that we do media-wise, you'll be listed on there as a production partner. You'll get early access to the film, behind the scenes. You can get different cuts of the film as we go along. It's pretty much it's a partnership deal. So everything that we get and that we do or that we offer, you automatically get that. So you're kind of open up a big net, and everything that all the cool stuff that we may put out, all the secret perks and things, you get everything. And you basically just you're one of us. So you anything we get, any cool special events or anything like that, you get to come along with and
Heck yeah,
be the baller.
Again, I just support this pledge. Filmmakers out there. So there's a lot of guys and gals who they'll do a short film. I've seen, and you've seen it too. I've seen people spend $10,000 on a short film. It doesn't get put out. It'll sit like they do it. I didn't finish it. Throw it away. Think about what you're investing in this. You're pretty because the short film's your calling card. You're trying to get your name out there, right? You can do the same thing with this, and this is a guarantee. Because, you know, the film is done. The film's getting put out. It's getting coverage. You know, he's a name. He's got people who follow him. So this will be something to help you out as well. So think about, you know, the pros and cons. Plus, you know, instead of spending the money on a short film, you do this, you're going to talk to the pros right there. They can give you advice and give you some help along the way. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always, that's why I try to look at these things, you know, realistically, you know, try to, you know, because a lot of people, you know, they'll see certain things. Oh, I don't want to, that's a lot. I said, but dude, you just spent this on this, you know, like you know, think about what you're doing here.
Yeah, the last campaign we sold 2 of those and one of the one after it. So it's definitely for a certain backer that's looking for certain things. But the market's out there, and that's why you always put them on there, because you never know when that person's going to come along.
Yeah.
I don't know that when we first started doing it, I never expected really to sell multiples of them. But there's people out there that are looking for that, and that's their thing, and they really get their claws into the industry,
Right.
make a lot of connections and stuff like that. So it's a popular one.
Heck yeah, man. And like I said, when you do good stuff, you know, people will support it. And again, like you're putting out a good product, and this is something most horror fans can eat this up. So I definitely see why people are, you know, spending the money on backing it, and it's good to see this.
Yeah, definitely.
So the last one, the Infernal Partner, $10,000.
Yeah, so we give with this you get, you know, everything mentioned from the other one. We offer profit share, so we can talk about points on the back end, and like you actually investing in the movie in a way where you'll get stuff back. So that's an investor's perk. So if you're interested in that, we kind of cater to the people. Like when we sell them, we usually negotiate in terms of people that want to make money back on it. I can't say a lot on it because I guess you're technically not supposed to do it on Indiegogo when you do it, but that's an investor perk. So when you purchase that, when we have that discussion, you can expect to make money back on that.
Awesome.
Like, so you're actually a partner on the film and a financial partner.
So there you go, folks. You got it. You got only one, so somebody needs to jump on this. I think you're gonna get that sold pretty soon. I mean, that's a pretty. I've seen a lot of these sell in upper campaigns, so it's very, you know, again, for that price, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, in our production, like I said, when we're in production, when all our first round money was coming in, those are more likely to sell. So if you're thinking about doing a campaign and you're wondering how to use these perks, those are usually more popular your first time around because a lot of those big people have already come to us and helped us make the film. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna use those bigger perks, use them your first time around, and don't be afraid of them because people will buy them. These people, this level is out there, and
oh, yeah.
Go bigger. Like, don't be afraid to put your whole. You can do a perk with your whole film's budget on there. Like, never leave that out because those people do come along. So anybody who's listening, do those bigger perks because people grab them.
Awesome. So there you have it, folks. This is a very cool campaign. I'm going to play the trailer one more time for everybody, just in case.
Awesome.
I just want to see it again, and just people who may have missed it. So, all right. So let's do it one more time.
Dark Lord, fallen angel, hear our call. We are but humble servants who beg for your favor.
Where are you going?
Find some more Sacrifice albums to add to my collection.
Why don't you get some real music like Journey or Skinner?
There are only 666 copies of this made. This record was used to summon demons.
What the fuck is that?
Let's make a deal. Gamble for our souls.
You must answer this challenge within 13 hours.
All you need to do is retrieve the blade.
That's where heavy metal comes from?
Hell yeah.
And a couple of things I want to point out in there. We've got Courtney Gaines from Children of the Corn. We've got Sky Elabar from The Greasy Strangler. Pancho Moeller from Rob Zombie's 31 and 3 from Hell. Mark Torgel from The Toxic Avenger. Carl Solomon, who's hilarious. He did like the Eric Andre show. Our devil, Clint Hummel, the guy you saw playing the devil. I mean, in that minute, we could not capture the magnitude of his performance in the movie. Like, one of my favorite devils in every movie used to be the original Stand, the way that guy played the devil.
Yeah, right.
And it's not just because it's my movie. I hate my own, like I'm really hard on my own work. But in this movie, took by far my favorite interpretation of the devil in any horror movie. So he was just on fire. If you're a big TikTok fan, we've got Steve Bridges, who is hilarious. He does a lot of cool characters on TikTok. So the film's loaded with really awesome powerhouse actors. So
that's great, dude. You can do a convention just on your movie with all those actors. Right?
Yes,
that's great though. And again, I mean, you use a lot of my favorite people in it. You know, so that's awesome, man.
Thank you.
So I don't take up too much more of your time. We pretty much covered a lot of things I was going to ask you because one of the questions I ask a lot of my filmmakers is how hard is it working with special effects on low budget? But you have Joe Castro on your film, so I don't really have to ask that question anymore.
No, Joe's he's just one of those people. He loves it and eats it, breathes it. I mean, you know, you kind of have to be. Like I saw your work. You've got that hunger and drive for it. It's just
oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, the artist is you're. I think you're born a special effects artist, and we lucked out and he just came through and killed it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you know, not getting off subject, but again, like just. Like I said, as a kid watching this stuff, like again, horror was always my thing, but you know, especially being a kid in the '80s, like that was like the golden era of special effects, and just to see like a man turn to a wolf or the Thing and the Alien, all these, you know, oh my God, do you see like, there's guys that make this stuff? You know, you just get obsessed with just seeing the behind the scenes are just as cool as the movies themselves.
Absolutely, like I'll sit there and watch them. Sometimes I'll rebuy movies that I have 100 copies of just because they put something new on a special effects or an extra feature. I love it. It's
Right.
just as important to me as the film.
Yeah, and that's something missing now, man. I mean, again, there's a lot of great, obviously, like, you're making a good movie now, but a lot of, I just more or less a lot more Hollywood level horror films. They don't have that. They don't have that thing like the old ones do. And it's true. It's not even being an old man on my get off my lawn anymore. It's just
No, definitely, and that's what Grimehouse Films, like the movies that I make. That's something that will always be in my work. Is that thing that they all had. That's how I create and write and produce these movies. So all my work is almost of that era, because it's very important to me, like the big opening credit scenes and the music and the practical effects, like all that, I agree, is missing today. So that's what I'm out to do, and that's what all my movies will have.
on. Well, you're doing a good job, dude. And I need to go back and watch your first film. I'm probably trying to watch that tonight when I get off phone and work on some stuff.
It's got its mistakes, and it's
Come on, man. We don't.
it's nothing near what we just did. So if you see it, I'm very grateful for you watching it. But we had nothing holding us back this time, and it just you'll see the vast difference. But it comes a lot of fun.
I love watching small independent films, man. It's just especially you can tell when they're putting a heart into it. That usually will always make a lot of stuff we still like to this day, like Basket Case, for example, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. That was a lot of heart, very low budget, extremely low budget, but it just works on so many different levels because you had a genius director in it.
Absolutely.
But so a couple more questions. So the distribution thing, I guess. What has your experience been like with distribution, and what would your advice be to filmmakers who maybe have their film already made, don't know what to do with it, or the smart way, which I was thinking is before you even make the film, how it kind of think about that first going into it?
Yeah, I think it's something that we all, as first-time filmmakers, I don't know that we think about it enough, because it's a kind of an unknown world, and it's an unknown art in and of itself. I know there's a lot of bad actors out there. There's a lot, and about that, I mean a lot of predatory companies.
Yeah.
Especially your first time out or your second time out. Just do your research. It's very easy to get taken advantage of, because everybody wants that deal. But in the end, if you get a bad deal, just to say you have international distribution, but you don't get anything back from it, just slow down. Don't jump on the first deal that comes, and always make sure they're giving you money up front. Ask for a guaranteed minimum. If they don't offer that, don't take it, because sometimes that's the only time you're going to see money. So just be very wary of who you give your film to.
Right on. And it's great. Like I've talked to several people. Everybody says the exact same thing.
Yes.
I've heard some horror stories. I've heard some very bad, bad things have come out of that. Heard some great things, but I've heard a lot of horror stories come out of it. And I probably, what I plan on doing eventually, and again, like if you ever have time want to come back on the show, man, I would love to have you. It's kind of have like a discussion with filmmakers about, just talk about distribution, just do like an hour segment about that, because that's just something, there's a million how to make short independent films out there. Every, what I'm saying, how to do low budgets, how to cast, all that crap. Not many on distribution. Because like you said, I don't think people really know either. Like you said, it's one of those things like, because it varies too, doesn't it? Like every time you get out there to make a film, you got to do it all over again, correct?
Most definitely. And if there's a lot of really good groups, Joe Castro is actually the master on this as well. He's got a group called Film Distributors to Stay Away From on Facebook.
I got to join that.
Yes, it's everybody talking about everything that all these companies are doing and how to avoid it. It's a great group to be on. If you ever want to have me back and talk distribution, I'll get Joe to come on with us.
Yes, please.
He knows it in and out, and he's the go-to guy. He's almost led a mini revolution against these predatory companies, and he really knows his stuff. That's where I've learned everything, is by following Joe and following these Facebook groups, because it's a very tricky landscape, and there's a lot of people out there that don't have your best intention, the best intentions for your film. So definitely seek guidance and have an attorney look at those contracts, because they build those things like death traps.
Oh man, yeah, we definitely, that's something we'll talk about off camera. Like we'll set that up. I know you got a lot going on right now, but that's something we'll definitely try to plan out when it's a good time for you guys. But yeah, so that again, like distribution is the one that seems that's the big one. On a brighter note, let's talk about my last three questions. Two questions. One is like there's two parts to it. Is favorite monster in a movie?
Oh man, favorite monster. I was a huge fan of Jack from American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
And there was one small second where he had this little flap of skin that was almost like an accident that was so grotesque that it almost made people walk out of the theaters. But I loved his makeup, the whole concept of him kind of slowly decaying over time.
Rick Baker, man.
Yeah, Rick Baker was absolutely incredible.
Bad dude.
But oh man, to name a favorite, I've got a room full here, but probably my all-time favorite makeup had to be from the movie Legend, Tom Cruise.
With Tim Curry the Demon, right?
Yeah. Curry, the big red horde guy.
Right on.
That's probably my favorite. So.
Yeah, you know what? I love that movie as a kid. The witch that came out of the swamp scared the hell out of me.
Yes.
But do you know who played that? I didn't know the actor that played is the dude from Gremlins and Gremlins 2 and Joe Dante's guy, the guy from so remember the Howling, the first one, the guy that got all shot up. He got off on pulling bullets out of his head. It was him.
Yeah. Oh wow!
Did not know that. I literally just found out like a few months ago. It popped up my Facebook feed. Like he played. I'm pretty sure there's a story behind that. Yeah. I thought it was like a lady just in makeup. I didn't know it was actually him. But
that's crazy. Yeah, that whole film was so ahead of its time, and
it really was.
It wasn't even well received when it first came out, but makeup and the effects and that movie still holds up today as
Tangerine Dream, good music and stuff in it, man. Absolutely. Like what was great? No, again, like we could talk about this all day, but the cool thing about Legend, like, all right, remember how you earlier said like you used to go to the video store and get the box art, right? Did you also notice how like the box art never was what was in the movie? Like the box art like was just totally cool. Like where's this movie at? Like I felt Legend was probably the closest we got to what the box art. Does that make sense? Like
absolutely.
What the box art was. So
right. And that movie everything about it. The set burned down twice and they rebuilt it. That whole film was shot on a built set. Like how they built that is just a marvel. But I'm actually really good friends now with Mick Strong. I mean, he did Nightmare on Elm Street, 3 and 4, Blade, Candyman. It's all these massive movies. And he and I were having a laugh talking about the old school tricks of the deceptive trailers and deceptive artwork. So that was something they did back then that was pretty brilliant.
Yeah, I love like the film Mandy. I love that Panos Cosmatos, the movie he made, and like he talked about a lot about how like a lot of his movies are kind of like the box art of the film. Cause, like we never seen that. And I mean it's funny now that a lot of people is doing a throwback. They're kind of going, everything's got that color, vibrant color, retro look to it. So I think we're finally getting what we wanted. But,
definitely.
All right, so the last question is, I guess it might be a little too early to even talk about what's next after Infernal. Do you have an idea where you're going?
Yeah, well, I've actually got a werewolf script. We actually shot a really cool trailer for it, starring Kane Hodder as my werewolf.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah, so I've got that on deck. I've got a couple stories in mind. So I think my next project, we're going to go ahead and try to get it's called the Rougarou. It's based on the Louisiana werewolf. And I've been sitting on it for a while because I needed to know that we had our reputations right and that we had the potential to fund it right. But I think that time has come. So big werewolf movie coming up.
That's great. It's wild with that is I love that. You said werewolf, so I'm sold on it. But you said Kane Hodder is the wolf. And it was like, as much stuff as I've seen Kane Hodder in genre, I said, damn, he's never played a werewolf? Like, that's kind of like an obvious thing. Like, he's played everything that I know of. I never remember playing a werewolf. So you're the first guy to do that for him. I'm pretty sure that right there, he fell in love with that idea.
We had a blast. Like he came in and did it, and that was the first thing I ever produced was this proof of concept trailer with him as our werewolf. So getting my first time running the show and getting Kane Hodder on it was just blew my mind. And that's actually on YouTube. I'll send that to you as well. The first thing I ever
sweet.
It just turned out so good.
That's awesome, man. Heck yeah, man. Well, again, Eric, thank you so much for joining us. It was a real pleasure, man. We got to do this again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Obviously, great campaign. Look forward to your movie. A lot of great information. And folks out there, please, like, you know, if you like old school horror, you like practical effects, you like 80s movies, especially if you're a fan of films like the original Trick or Treat, what else we got? Black Roses, that one, and the newest one, Deathgasm. If you like any of those films, this is right up your alleyway. So, and the links in the description on my YouTube page. I'll put on additional information as far as how his social media and to his other film, Macabre. So, check it all out.
And also, if you like that Deathgasm, we've actually did an official crossover. So that record that you see my characters buying in the store, that's actually the record from Deathgasm. Jason and I worked that out. So it's a direct official crossover from Deathgasm in our movie. So please
share universe. I love that artwork, by the way. But all right, man. I know you got to get going, man. You got things to do, and you got more stuff to shoot. But thank you so much for joining me, man. This has been a real pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I'll come back anytime.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. Have a good evening.